Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live here on Wink CW, Channel 6, and we are here at the African Coalition of Southwest Florida's annual end-of-year celebration. It is a spectacular setting, a spectacular event, and we are having a great time downtown on the River District, bringing some chocolate to the River District. This is Post 38, which has now become a very popular spot to have wonderful events. They do a great job. Of course, I'm Lee Pitts from Lee Pitts Live. My show is a media sponsor tonight, and we're glad to cover this from end to end. We have this charming couple here who have come out to celebrate. I'm going to encourage you to keep your mic here so everybody can hear us good. And let's get to meet them. First of all, give me your name and where you're originally from.
Okay, my name's Hyacinth Reynolds. I'm originally from England, actually.
Really?
With Jamaican parents.
Okay.
And I immigrated to the U.S. when I was 13, and now I live in Naples, and we recently moved here 2 years ago from New Jersey.
All right, outstanding. New Jersey City, New Jersey, one of my favorite places. And of course, I spent some time over in London and Paris and throughout Europe, and I've had some great time with the Cockney people and hanging out in the Soho district.
Right.
I've traveled the world and spent a lot of time in Africa, so this is very familiar to me.
Okay.
And let's meet this handsome young man right here.
I'm Don Sutton.
Looking like Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes. You been told that?
Don't I wish? My name is Don Sutton, and I'm originally from New Orleans.
Okay.
So my background is kind of New Orleans. My mother's family was kind of an old New Orleans family, and my dad was military, so I moved to Germany when I was 5.
Okay.
And lived there for 4 years, and then moved back when I was 14 and finished high school over there. So I lived in several countries. I was in New York after that for about 25 years, and then New Jersey, where I met my lovely wife.
All right, I was trying to think, when did y'all meet?
Yeah. And I'm a theater professional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently a literary trustee of the estate of Ntozake Shange, the author of For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. And I've been senior of a number of African American cultural organizations, executive producer of the Alvin Ailey, managing director of the Dance Theater of Harlem, personal manager to Ossie Davis, Ruby Dee, Alvin Ailey, Arthur Mitchell, Savion Glover. And I've made a career of this and fundraising. Over the years. I've raised the money that built the Studio Museum in Harlem and also the Charles Wright Museum of African American History in Detroit. I raised the money that completed portions of the South Street Seaport Museum in New York and put together the package that became the Museum of Arts and Design. And that was a specialty of mine for about 20 years, I guess.
So you never know who you're going to meet on Lee Pitts Live. I know we say it all the time, but that took a cake. Oh, my goodness. 30 years of doing this show, over 20,000 interviews in my rear view mirror, and then this happens.
I guess your number came up.
Boy, you are a renaissance man. We're so proud to have you on the show. I'm going to come back over to you in a minute and unpack some more things. Let's go back over to the missus. First of all, how did you hear about tonight's event, and how are you enjoying yourself so far?
Okay. Well, we are friends with Lodovick Kimball, and we had lunch with him last week.
Lodovick is getting y'all at everything.
And he
I'll
told
be at Lee Pitts Live after work.
Right. And he told us about this event. We are having a wonderful time, meeting wonderful people, learning about Nigeria and all these different countries that are represented. Food is delicious, and it's a joy to be here.
And when she said the food is delicious, we are eating authentic African food. The dishes were prepared by Africans and brought here, and it's plenty of food. It is great. African food tastes a lot like Black American food.
It does.
That takes us right back to our lineage, doesn't it?
And Jamaican food.
Yes.
Hyacinth was just kind of going
Caribbean,
through
African,
what we
all
were
that.
eating, and she says, "Oh, this is my mother used to make this back in London when she was a kid," and there were just so many connections. It's the African diaspora here.
Yes. Now, you guys being well-traveled, lived up north and all of that, you've seen a lot of these types of things throughout life, cultural events. Now that we're having more things in Southwest Florida for us to partake in, it makes our social life a lot more exciting and more welcoming instead of always everything lily white.
Right.
Just like when I saw you downtown eating the other day when I pulled over, you sit downtown, you're basically in an all-white world. Living in Naples, I know most of the all-white world, except for maybe the NAACP banquet. Now you get to come out to events like this, Leap It live after work, and you start realizing a lot more people of color all around, right? Speak to that.
Okay,
That was a
so
lot, but just the whole, we are coming together.
right. So with us coming from the New York, New Jersey area, we were really afraid that we weren't going to see a lot of black people. And actually, when we first got here, because of the lockdown and everything, we just didn't know where the black people were. And then we came to Fort Myers,
Right.
and we met Lodovic. And now we're feeling much more comfortable. We're not missing New York as much because we're actually able to see some cultural things that we're interested in, where our people are front and center, and so we're really enjoying ourselves.
Well, I just love being in the center of all of this. I get to hear these kind of conversations because of my station in life in the media, and it's always so refreshing because I moved to the area in like the late 1980s, and I've seen the growth here, the diversity here, and I would tell all the people who are in charge of the Chamber of Commerce or the Visitors Convention Bureau and all these other people, include people of color, black people in your marketing campaign. Let people all around the world that you're trying to attract to the Fort Myers, Southwest Florida area. Show diversity in your materials and your recruitment videos and your all of that. Let people know that black people are in this area and we are thriving and we welcome more people to the area. What you think about my speech right there?
That's a terrific point. I think we were, as my wife said, a little apprehensive because we knew from before we moved here of just a small smattering of African Americans and blacks in the area, mostly from Naples. And as we figured, they're all snowbirds. They're business owners, and in fact, our original connection was a guy that I worked with closely on developing the Charles Wright Museum in Detroit. He was the development chair, the former chief counsel of the Chrysler Corporation, and Leroy Ritchie.
Okay.
And when he retired, he moved down here and invited us down.
Okay.
And we got a look at it and we said, hey, this is nice, you know. But in
Nice
the last,
pricing.
absolutely, yeah.
Nice. You can get a lot of nice piece of real estate for a good price, right?
Yeah, and of course the Florida lifestyle.
Yeah.
Summer all year, and it's hard to beat. And I didn't understand that I'd be able to do what I do in Naples and remain involved in the New York theater. We've been here for 2 years since my last show closed in December of 19. And since then, we've put together the revival of For Colored Girls, and it's been done on Zoom.
Okay.
And I realized that even if I'd been in New York, I'd have been across town on Zoom.
Right.
So it didn't matter that I was 1,200 miles away.
Right. Okay.
And so this is a new era. And
When you say the revival of For Colored Girls,
right,
I mean, I'm familiar with the movie and the book.
right.
When you say the revival, you mean there's a play coming out or something?
Yes. It was originally a play produced in 1976, written by Ntozake Shange. And it's still the longest running play by an African American writer in Broadway history. It ran for 746 performances. A Raisin in the Sun ran for 550 performances.
Okay.
In December of 19, we did a revival off-Broadway at the Public Theater, where Hamilton came from. And it closed, ran 9 weeks, sold out. And we attracted some producers, including some black producers. And we're on tap to open at the Booth Theater on Broadway on March 24th.
Okay, so you'll be going back up to New York?
Yes, we'll be back up probably by the end of January
I see.
for a period of rehearsals and then the initial opening period.
Okay. Now, I forgot to ask you what you do in life, or what did you do? Are you a retired school teacher?
No, actually, I'm an attorney, and I worked for the state of New Jersey for the Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, so a lot of affordable housing. And I retired in 19, and that's when we came here.
Okay, we got some affordable housing stuff going on here you need to get involved with.
Right, yes.
You met Roy Kinnick's yet?
No, but I know Michelle Hilton.
Yeah.
And the young lady that spoke tonight.
Callaway. Yeah.
Right, yes, I
Well,
met
Ludovic
her.
need to introduce you to Roy and Frankie Jennings. They're migrants here from Atlanta. They're building about 140 affordable townhomes in Dunbar. That's Ludovic's fraternity brother, Roy Kinnick. You guys will love each other.
Okay.
We met him. We had lunch with him the other day, didn't we?
Is that Roy Kinnick?
I think we did.
I
Yeah.
don't remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in Jersey, too.
Oh,
In
okay.
fact, he ran for mayor of Jersey back in the 70s or 80s or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure y'all
Okay.
connect.
Yeah. We'll have to run
Well, look, say something to the African Coalition of Southwest Florida in terms of your experience tonight, and encourage them to continue what they're doing.
Well, I spent a number of years as well in the area of financing black businesses. And one thing that I've noticed from actually doing it on fairly large scale is that groups that are immigrants, so to speak, and we're immigrants in the North, are all in the issue of, are all having difficulty with financing. We did a lot in the state of New York to finance black business, but what I found was that immigrant groups like the Chinese, some Africans, a lot of Caribbeans, quite a few Latin Americans are in fact attached to their homeland, and that's where the money's coming from. So if a Korean moves to America and wants to open a store, he has access to a sovereign nation, right, Korea, and his people, from which to draw the $200,000 or $300,000 that he needs to do anything. And our separation from Africa historically has really been from the outlook of Europeans. They have never wanted us to have a connection to Africa for fear that we might develop these resources. And so the connection to Africa is critical, particularly in the 20th century, 21st century. We see where things are going. And the point is that if you're not able to do for yourself and tap into a source of earnings and a source of capital that is committed to you on more than a lending basis, I'm the bank and I'm going to lend you money. It's got to be a cultural connection. Once you establish that, then you find that people with good ideas are going to get the money that they need to set up their operations and set up their businesses. So connection between African Americans and Africa is critical, and unfortunately very few of us understand what we have at stake in Africa.
Wow, that was fantastic. You want to add anything to that?
No, I totally agree that making that connection, and this organization, you know, that's featuring this program tonight could be that connection.
Well, you heard it right here. Certainly I'll get them on the show again in the future without all the music in the background. But I'm also thrilled that you're getting a chance to hear that music in the background. We get you in the studio in a soundproof booth, and we'll unpack a whole lot of that stuff you were talking about there. That's good television, and it's certainly great radio. We're going to come back with some more interviews right here on the red carpet as Lee Pitts Live is covering the African network of the African Coalition of Southwest Florida end of year celebration from end to end. And as we say on Lee Pitts Live, Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers got the juice. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all got December 10th on your schedule?
December 10th.
Bow ties, gowns, and cocktail
Right,
dresses.
right, yes. right.
So whatever bow tie you want to wear, whatever outfit you want to wear, formal looking, upscale.
Right.
We're going to have a nice gala here, holiday celebration,
Right.
bow ties, gowns, and cocktail dresses. I did not say a black tie affair. And we'll be returning here the next time you see me here. We'll be right back.
That's in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah.